Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Kuldeep Singh, Dean School of Commerce and Management from Om Sterling Global University, Hisar, Haryana, India. Welcome you all for the second session, offline and online dual mode. Now we'll be having a keynote address by Professor Dr. Syed Abdul Muez, Dean, Al Taqwa University, Afghanistan. Before Professor Moez starts his keynote speech, let me give his brief introduction. Dr. Syed Abdul Moez received his doctorate in management studies and MBA from Cardiff Metropolitan University, United Kingdom. He is the Dean of Economics and Management faculty at Al Taqwa University, Nangarhar, Afghanistan. He has nearly 20 years of experience in academia, particularly in the program of management and academics. He is the co-founder of the Agroprocessor, a mid-sized processing and trading company. Dr. Moez is the holder of Best Dean Award granted by the Ministry of Higher Education of Afghanistan. His professional interests focus on program management and published several research papers in Scopus indexed journals. His current books, Change Management and Change Leadership and Principle and Practices of Management in Afghanistan context. He was recently honored with the Award of Excellence for his contributions to the higher education development by Afghanistan Center of Excellence and the Afghan Parliament. Dr. Moez, welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Do you hear me? Thank you so much, respected doctor. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. First of all, warm welcome and hello to all the esteemed audience of the very international conference. Secondly, I'm really thankful of the honorable focal team and the Asia's fastest growing university, Om Sterling Global University, for organizing such an informative and productive international conference about the impact of innovation and technology on ecosystem for inclusive growth in collaboration with Al Taqwa University based on the interactive MOU signed between both the universities in the late 2022. It is truly a pride moment for me appearing at such an international conference for a few minutes of keynote speech. Thank you again to all the organizers of the conference and the esteemed audience of this international conference. To cut it short, Al Taqwa University is busy in providing for more than a decade the quality academic services to the 4 decades of war stricken and poverty stricken society of Afghanistan. As you know better, that Afghanistan is a combination of more complex, more challenging, and more diverse cultures. So, providing academic services in such an challenging environment is challenging itself. However, being a collaborative body of this international conference, we believe and strive for the practical implementation of the innovative ideas that would definitely result in the successful inclusive growth for a healthy ecosystem. Frankly speaking, in our underdeveloped and developing countries, we find a huge gap in our academia and industries, which result in no clear innovations to contribute in the inclusive growth for a better ecosystem. We need a shift to our paradigms in this regard in order to functionalize our productive ideas, which would finally pave the way to reduce the industry academia gap. The universities and all other educational institutions are vital to reduce or eliminate this industrial academia gap by having as much industrial languages as possible. Because of this gap, the educational institutions in developing countries, especially, are providing a product of almost no value, which ultimately is creating no impact. So, what makes the impact is only possible when academia and industry are on the same page. Universities must blatantly focus on entrepreneurial aspects while providing a quality education to the students. I firmly believe that to have a clear impact of innovation and technology on ecosystem for inclusive growth, the educational institutions must focus on materializing what they're offering for providing by providing facilities to the students to engage actively in the industries, which will be of value and having impact on ecosystem in general. Additionally, we should arrange such international conferences for the sake of awareness to our young generation to put their best in the implementation of their innovative ideas and aligning the productive use of technology to have a better impact on ecosystem for inclusive growth. I especially admit and admire the Omstilling Global University for its more industry linkages, which guarantees its impact on inclusive growth. To put an end, I strongly recommend the academicians to engage thoroughly in research and development activities because it is the only way to materialize what we hope for and want to have deep impact of our innovations and technology is a whole an ecosystem for inclusive growth. It is the prime responsibility of the academia to diagnose the dilemmas of the current era by engaging the skillful researchers to provide the best and innovative solutions to the complex and volatile nature of the modern industries. I also hold the government responsible for providing the research opportunities and facilities to its communities because this research and development facility introducing the industry academia gap are the only two vital solutions in implementing the innovative ideas for the betterment of inclusive growth for the ecosystem. As the world is becoming a single global village. Therefore, it is our social responsibility to do the best of our efforts for the four pillars of inclusive growth index that are economy, living conditions, equality, and a healthy environment for our coming generations. At the end, I appreciate our esteemed audience for their valuable time and consideration towards such international conference and hope for the best at their ends to make this world a real good place for themselves to live in and for our upcoming generation by actively getting aware of the global dilemmas. I also call upon the teachers and students to quit the conventional ways of education. The students are highly required to think creatively in order to bring innovative changes in our academia and industry as a whole. At the end, I would prefer that the teachers and the institutions are responsible for linking the dots of the society at least. Once again, thanks a lot for your time and patience. Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Moez, for your very informative uh, keynote speech. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Now, dear delegates and participants, we start with the offline mode presentation of the delegates who are physically present over here, and it will be followed by online mode. Thank you. Dr. Yusuf, please continue with that.
Good afternoon, Bhanadal. Now, I would like to request Akanksha, research scholar, School of Engineering and Technology. I would like to request her on stage for presentation.
This session will be chaired by me, Dr. Kuldeep Singh, Dean School of Commerce and Management, Om Sterling Global University, and it will be co-chaired online by Professor Dr. Ulfatullah Kotwan, Al Taqwa University, Afghanistan. Dr. Kotwan, I think you are online. You are listening now? Hello? Are you getting my voice, Dr. Alfatullah Kotwan?
Thank you. Yes, I'm hearing. Yes.
Okay, fine. We are getting you too. We start
Thank
with
you.
the
Thank you.
first presentation by Akansha. Akansha, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Akanksha from Electronics and Communication Department. I'm here to present my research literature work on qualitative study on metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor as inverter. As we all know that metal oxide semiconductor are very used device in day-to-day life, uh, such as the integrated circuit and others devices like microprocessor and semiconductor devices. And first of all, the most metal oxide semiconductor is invented by in Atala in 1930s. As we know that as the semiconductor industry grows fast, uh, according to Moore's law, every year or in 6 month, industry will grow multiply. I studied fuse paper, which in which inverter are invented by many of researchers, like the power electronic devices which convert. What are the inverters? Like the power electronic devices which convert DC power. Okay. Fine. The power electronic devices which convert DC power to AC power at required output voltage and frequency level is known as inverters. Inverters are used for many applications such as the low voltage DC sources and the batteries. We can use the inverter in many purposes like in situations convert electronic power from a car battery to run of laptop a cell phone. As we know that in day-to-day life the development outline of these application are new power electronic technology which is used to home uses. uh, due to the power, another one will research that due to the power shortage day to day life, it is very important in our day to day life that power is very useful for us. So due to the power shortage, MOSFET inverter are introduced in which resistor, capacitor and channel MOSFET they are used, and the outcomes that these inverter are very cheap, clean and very competitive and reliable sources for the power supply, and efficiently used for the batteries and the alternative source of energy source and cause of the power failures and the energy crisis. Next. Another one also says that the most of the induction motors in this paper they used as a induction motors required the industrial area day to day working of the three phase. It's like a single phase and three phase. They used as a three phase of source of alternative voltage. Three phase AC supply are available for all times, particularly in rural area. So the new scheme of the single phase to three phase are used as the MOSFET purposes. They are very variable speeds control, which is deal with the considerable saving energy and the resources. The another one also has done another work. The paper is the investigated the inverter non-linear in the driven as the silicon carbide MOSFET and the compared these with the insulated gate bipolar transistor. No, not only voltage drop, it has a many advantages like the voltage drop, delay time, and output capacitance, and but also the fast switching, delay time, and the voltage overshoot of the power predictions applications. They are inverters input output distortion and the validated by the experimentations. This is the my device, my inverter, in which I have used both NMOS and PMOS. Basically, it is the CMOS device which is I have proposed. In this paper, we use a dual gate MOSFET, which is a highly improved performance, like in the semiconductor. Uh, uh, Many other problems issues like the fabrication process is very long and the time consuming, so that I use both PMOS and NMOS in the same device. So it is called the double MOSFET inverter. In this channel length is 14 nanometer, and end drain is the end drain, P drain, which is described in the another further further PPT, which is sorry, next, which is shown in this presentation, which is 10 and 14 nanometer gate dielectric is hafnium oxide because of the high K electric. Bottom gate work function is 4.6 electrons volt, and top gate is a 4.9 electron volt. Thank you so much. Basically, we know that inverter is very useful in day-to-day life. So I have this is my short survey on inverters. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Akanksha. Now, I would like to invite Ritu Rani, research scholar, School of Commerce and Management. His topic is impact of innovation and technology on ecosystem for inclusive growth. Uh, Ritu Rani, I would like to invite you on stage for presentation.
Yes, Mr. Volunteer Yusuf, I think every candidate should be given 2 minutes for question answer session, and ask public that if they wanted to have any question, they can raise it.
Okay, sir. Audience, if anyone have question regarding Akanksha's presentation, if anyone have queries, okay, thank you. I would like to request Ritu Rani, come on stage and take the presentation.
Good afternoon to all of you. Myself Ritu from PhD Scholars in School of Commerce and Management. Today I present my presentation on green marketing. In today times, we know our environment, our earth, and human life are many risks due to our products which are harmful for our health. So, such in this time our societies and our peoples are more eco-friendly and they use also eco-friendly products, eco-friendly gadgets which are not harmful our environment and human life. uh, in this scenario the concept is gaining importance all over the green products design, green supply chains and packaging, pricing and green modification, green advertisement. Green marketing is a seen the tool of sustainable development of pollution level get worse day by day. A strategy that continued, a strategy that address concern about the promoting and protecting the natural environment, the benefit both. The last 10 year a domestic increase in the environmental and environmental based damages. This increase in environment damage is a major factor influencing the consumer behavior, and as a result of green product marketing is expanding at the alarming rate. What is needed to encourage the green new option and innovation that could lead the green market environment and to create new marketing condition to potential buyers. Screen छोटी है. Green marketing is a green market or environmentally friendly products began in Europe in 1980s when the certain product are identified as a harmful to the earth and atmosphere as a new green products that the less environmental impact has been introduced. The concept become popular in USA and steadily increased since then. According to the American Marketing Association, green marketing is a marketing of environmentally friendly products. Green marketing is also known as environmental marketing, include various activities such as product modification, manufacturing modification, packaging modification, and advertisement modification. Companies in the marketing economics base their manufacturing and marketing decision on many factors, including government regulations and consumers. Consumer preference for the green products and government regulations provide incentives to corporate environment and other goals into decisions, environment and other green goals in decision of maximize corporate profit. For example, the US market has a 3.5 certified green consumer and while European market has also consumers. There are the 3 R's are used in green marketing is reduce, recycle, reuse objectives. Objectives ये है कि consumers are aware about green marketing or some issues are related in green marketing. Companies are involved in green marketing in India. ग्रीन मार्केट के पॉजिटिव एस्पेक्ट्स ये है कि appeals to green marketing, help in environment, use emission conscious shipping practices, promotion of green alliances. Negative points ये है कि इसमें some consumers are not able to pay for green products. Some are costly, some are not aware about green products. In India, some companies are involved in green marketing. Example is ITC, Hero Honda, JK Tires, Coca-Cola, Indian Oil, Riva Electronic Cars, Royal Dutch Shells, and SBI. In India, some regulatory bodies are open for this. First is OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Act. This act is provide the healthy environment and safely environment for workers who are work in factories and companies. FIFRA Federal Insecticides, Fungicides and Radicals Act is provide the pesticide use and its purchasing and some law are created by it. In conclusion, we find that 60% of people are not aware about the 60% of people are aware about the green marketing. Students and service people are more aware about this and not, or some people are not friendly about green products and not buying, not able for buying these green products. Thank you.
Thank you, Riturani. Any queries from audience? Even from child? Is there any queries? Okay, thank you. Now I am inviting Engineering Neeraj Kumar, PhD scholar, UIET, MDU Rohtak. His topic is study of steel casting technique for development of magnesium-based biodegradable metal matrix composite for being used in biomedical fields. I would like to request Neeraj Kumar for his presentation. Neeraj. यहाँ पे दिख रहा होगा ना.
Good afternoon to all. Myself Neeraj Kumar. I'm a PhD scholar in Mechanical Engineering Department of University Institute of Engineering and Technology, Maharishi Dayanand University, Rohtak, Haryana, India. I'm thankful to Om Study Global University and Al Taiba University of the Afghanistan for the international conference and Honorable Chancellor and Pro Chancellor Ma'am and the organizing team for giving me opportunity to present myself in front of you. So my slides are here in front of you. As you know, my topic is study of star casting technique for development of magnesium-based biodegradable metal matrix composite for being used in the biomedical fields. So the overview of my study is that there are different type of the composite which are big question among the researchers for the orthomatic and the biomedical fields. In among these, there are metal metallic matrix composite. There are different type of the composite which are using, and this is the overview of this. In this, we will study about the metal matrix composite. And for producing metal matrix composite, we will use different type of the techniques. There are power metallurgy, stir casting, additive manufacturing, and the friction stir casting. Next. This is the introduction. As we know, the magnesium is the lightest material in the world for being used as a composites. And why do we use magnesium? Why don't we use different type of the metals for the composites? Because magnesium have the higher strength, higher corrosive resistance properties, and many more properties which are suitable to the joints replacements, knee replacements, and the other orthopedic biomedical implants in the field of the composites. So for producing the magnesium based metal matrix composite, we basically used the star casting technique. In this star casting technique, why we use star casting? Because it's cost effective, it's simplicity operation for the processing, and it is a proven process because many researches has been done on this field. Then low cost of production. Then mass production capability, because in this way we can produce the composite in the huge amount. Next, so this is the production and the durability cost study of the bioimplants material. I have studied about the production, what type of the production cost we use and the why we use and the durability cost. So first of all, we will discuss about the development of the polymer orthopedic implants. What is the meaning of the orthopedic and polymer implants? As we know, the polymers are the material which are the lightest in the weight and having better surface finish and having improved optical properties. That's why we use this material for the implantation in the metal matrix composite. And where we use this type of material, we use this type of material in the knee replacement of the young age, if we are talking about that, if we have to replace the knee of a old age man, it's not possible by using the polymer orthopedic implant. If we are talking about the 6-5 year age boy, girl, or any people, if they have injury in their through the accidents, and there is a need of bone replacement and knee replacement, so in that way we can't replace their complete knee. We have only to replace that part which is affected by the accident. So this type of material, polymer orthopedic implants, will be used in that case. Next, we are talking about the development of metal orthopedic implants, as it indicates, in which we are using the metals for the orthopedic implants. Why we use metal? As we know, metal have the different mechanical and the metallurgical properties which are suitable as and which are comparatively equal to the bones which are in our body and which are suitable for the orthopedic implants. So why we use this is because of its withstand with the external stresses, because metals can withstand with the higher stresses, like higher loaded can be acted on the metal and it will be withstand within the time period and within for the longer time. Then most often used bioimplants, means in the bioimplants materials, metals are basically used. Then excellent thermal electrical conductance. Thermal and the electrical conductance. If we are talking about the conductance means the ability to withstand with the thermal property, like in the with the thermal temperature. If we are talking that it can withstand with the increasing the temperature, whether it is of 850 degrees Celsius or more than that. And electrical conductance means it can withstand with the ions which are the in our body, and as we know there is a chemical environment in our body. So in that environment, that implant material should be withstand for the longer time, so that it can heal that joint as well as withstand with the body. Next, development of the ceramic orthopedic implants. Now we are talking about the ceramic. As we know, ceramic has their hardness properties which is desired, then high temperature tolerance property it have, and then the chemical resistance. So ceramic are the basic material which are used in the in tiles in our homes, floor tiles, and for the wall tiles we use that type of material we will use in the making of that composite. Next, what is the future? Next slide, please. What is the future of the orthopedic implant material? If we are talking about the future, these material have the high biocompatibility. Biocompatibility means they have the property which are equal, or basically equal to the our joint, our bones, the property which are of bones are same as that of these materials. Then wear resistance, as our bone have the property to withstand with the wearing, then this type of material will also have the properties of the wear resistance. Then affordable, cost. If we are talking first portion, the basic and requirement of the implanting time is of cost. As we know, there are different types of the implant material we use, basically steel, aluminum, titanium, cobalt, nickel. These type of the rods we use to for the implanting in our body, in the knee replacement, joint replacement, hip replacement, and the tooth, which are teeth we used. So these type of materials have the more future for the invention in the metal matrix composite. Then low cost, and it has low cost as compared to other. And we're talking about the titanium, which is the uh, costlier material for the implantation. So we can't use titanium for the people which are poor. So there is a need of researching that type of material which could be cost effective to all age peoples, all type of people, whether it is belongs to the high class or the low class or the middle class. So there is a need of the metal matrix composite. Next, please. So these are the materials. Here I am forcing only on the magnesium based MMC. MMC means metal matrix composite. In the what are the materials we use? As I have told earlier, there are aluminum, magnesium, nickel, titanium, copper, ferrous. So you as we know, only metals can't be used as the implant material. For using as the implant material, we have to make the composite, and for making the composite, we have to add some other foreign material or some other metal. So that adding metal will be known as the reinforcement material. Reinforcement material will be in the form of like whiskers, fibers, or the different type of the ceramics, metals, which have we had discussed earlier. So in the fibers, we will basically used like the carbon fibers, jute fibers, and if we are talking about the particular material, then SiC, silicon carbides, aluminum oxide, graphenes, and the carbon nanotubes. That is known as the CNT. So these are the material which will be used as the reinforcement for making the MMC. Next, please. So we are talking about the I have studied on the different type of the MMC. So in the brief, we will talk about some MMCs which are based on the magnesium. Number one, SiC, that is silicon carbide based metal matrix composite. Why we use this type of the material will be made through the Rio metal and the Rio casting techniques. Only Rio metal and the Rio casting techniques will be used to fabricate this type of the MMC. And why we use? Because of its higher strength and their corrosion resistance, means it can withstand in the body for the longer time. Next, please. HAP based magnesium MMC. My work is basically on the HAP MMC. HAP, it is a full form is hydroxyapatite. It is a material which is similar to the bone. Only magnesium can't be used as the reinforcement material for the MMC, and magnesium has its limitations. For being used as an MMC, we will add some reinforcement material, that is the HAP. HAP is nothing. It is the powder of bone. We can say that. If we have to synthesize or the making this type of the material, we will use basically calcium phosphate oxides and some other material which are equal to the bone. So HAP, for HAP making, we will use star casting method. And why we use? Because it has the property of the higher strength to wear ratio, means it has the higher wearing ratio. Because of that, it can withstand in our body for the longer time. Then biocompatibility, means it is compatible to the other parts of the body. Then biodegradability. This is the most important point in my research. Biodegradability. It means the material. In today era, the material which are we using for the implantation, they need to be take out from the body after 2 or 3 years when there is a proper healing of that joint or that part, that is knee or hips, teeth. So if we are talking about the old age people, like at the age of the 74, there is a need displacement, or there is a need of placing rod in his leg or in arm. Then after 2 or 3 years, he will be of 78 or 76. Or as you know, at the age of the 76 or 78, there is a high risk of being operated because of their blood pressure and so many biological risk. So there is a need of invention of that type of material which is not taken out, means that can't be taken out, that should be dissolved in our body environment, and it should be flushed out in the form of urine. So this is the biodegradable. That's why it is known as the biodegradable. Magnesium hydroxyapatite is the recently used biodegradable material, and more researches are doing on that. And but this research has not been gone to the its results, because it's a matter of the biggest part. So we will consider on that. Next, CNT. Next, please. CNT means what is the meaning of the CNT? Carbon nanotubes. Carbon nanotubes are the smaller nanoparticles which are used for making the MNC, and these are used, as we know, it has carbon, and you know carbon is the highest strength material for making steel, iron, ferrous rods. We use the carbons. So this is used only for its higher ultimate strength and higher compressive strength properties. Next, these are the properties of the magnesium based metal matrix composite. In this, number one, high hardness, means magnesium based MMC has a high hardness property. Then high wear resistance, it can withstand in the body environment for the longest time. Low density, this is the basic, means if there is a low density, then means there will be a less weight, and less weight means it will be comfortable for the being implants in the body. Then lightweight material, it will be suitable for the old age. Then low coefficient of thermal expansion, means by the increasing of the temperature, it will not elongate for the more time, and if it not elongate, then it means it will be being in its original form, original size, whether the temperature of the body. Next, high strength, then the biocompatible I have shown. Next, what are the challenges of the magnesium based MMC? There are also different type of the challenges I have discussed earlier. So there are basically 3 points which we discuss. Reinforcement material, this is the biggest challenge in the producing MMC. Reinforcement material are of high cost. If we are talking about the HAP, SIC, CNT, its cost is very, very much. Next, dispersion not uniform, means when we are fabricating this type of material, their fabrication will not be uniformly throughout the molten material, and it will not have the properties of the mechanical or the metallurgical as similar to the bone. Next, fabrication. In the fabrication processes, we are talking about the high risk of the oxidation, means if we are fabricating this type of the material, magnesium based MMC, there is a high risk of oxidation. So this is the biggest challenge. Then inert gas requirement. For reducing the oxidation, we will need inert gas environment, and that inert gas environment will be provided through the argon gas. Means for producing MMC, we will use argon gas as the inert gas. Next, secondary deformation. Secondary deformation are the properties which are comes during the fabrication processes. If we are fabricating this type of the MMC, then there is basically two types of the properties which comes out. Porosity. Porosity means small holes in that material. If we are casting, I'm from the mechanical, that's why I know well that if we are melting that material in the foundry, in a furnace, and if we are fabricating that, then if I am making solidification, if I am getting to solid that part, it will have some small holes, like in our like अगर मैं हिंदी में बात करूं तो जो जैसे हमारा पानी वाला घड़ा होता है जिसमें हम पानी रखते हैं तो उसमें स्मॉल होल्स होते हैं जिसकी वजह से पानी ठंडा रहता है. सेम लाइक दैट इज नोन एज द पोरोसिटी, मींस द एयर और गैसेस कैन पास फ्रॉम दैट मटेरियल. सो दिस इज द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज. So this is the biggest problem in the making MMC. Next, decreased strength. Because of porosity increasing, then its strength will be decreased. Next, applications. Next slide, please. Those. So these are the applications of the magnesium metal matrix composite: biomedical, aerospace, hydrogen storage, electronics, and the automotive. These are the application areas of the MMC. Next. Next, this is the flow chart for making the MMC, and I'm using here the star casting technique. For star casting, first of all, I will melt that material with the reinforcement. Then we'll stir. Stir means I will stir that in the furnace. Then reinforcement will be added. Then again stirring will be done. Then pouring into the mold, and there will be solidification. Next. And this is the whole process. This is the preheating of the reinforcement material. Then it will be melted. Then it will be stirred. Then solidification at the last stage, as shown in the figure. Next, please. So these are the basically star casting techniques. There are different types of star casting techniques which are we use as shown in the figure. That is MMS, FF, BIMS, metal matrix, synthetic forms. So these are the classification of these techniques. Next, please. This is the setup which I have used for my work. There is a furnace, there is a stirrer, and this is an argon gas cylinder, and this is the molten material inside the crucible, and it will be stirring, and then it will be poured out from that to the mold, and then it will be solidification. Next. Next slide, please. So these are the characteristics and properties. Means characteristics are the mechanical and the metallurgical properties, optical properties, and the wear resisting, thermal, and the chemical properties which I have discussed. And these are characteristics which comes out from the papers which I have studied, and these are their results. Next. So these are the papers and their review. These are the material which they have used. The reinforcement material in the second column. Then what is the aim of that paper? Then research finding. What I have find from that papers I have written here, and these are their reference numbers. Next, please. Next. So these are the most recent technical advances in the star casting methods. Means different type of the star casting techniques we are using, like particle metallurgy, ball milling processes, different type of the processes to enhance the mechanical, metallurgical, thermal, and the chemical properties of that material. Next. So this is the conclusion of my work. At the last, I will say that star casting is that method which is the best used for making the magnesium based metal matrix composite for using as the biomedical implants and the biomedical fields. Thank you. Next, please. So these are the references. Next. These are the references for my work. Next. So at the last, I will heartily thankful for my course supervisor and the co-supervisor for my guiding them for research work. Dr. Rajkumar Dua from MDU, Bhaskar Khandpalji from IPEC, and Dr. Sunil Thakur from OSU. Next. Thank you all for your presence and hearing mine. And sure, nextly, I'm trying to publish my paper in essay as well in these Scopus-based journals. I have published many, and many are in the line. So, see you in the next research. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Neeraj Kumar. It was really appreciable presentation from Neeraj Kumar. I congratulate to him. Is there any queries from audience? I hope everyone is clear with his presentation. I think so. Okay, now I would like to invite Dr. Simi Nazneen, Associate Professor, OSU, from School of Hospitality and Management. Her topic is Green Tourism and Inclusive Growth, the role of local residents. Please, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So my topic title today for the paper. Actually, I just want to introduce first myself. I'm Dr. Simi Nazneen Lodi from the Department of Hospitality Management. I'm Associate Professor there, and my today's paper title is Green Tourism and Inclusive Growth. First of all, I just want to, I wish my heartfelt thanks to Post Chancellor Ma'am and Chancellor Sir, Honorable Chancellor Sir, and Badi Vice Chancellor Sir, TVC Sir, and all the scholars, staff, and faculties whosoever dignitaries present over here. So my special thanks to Dr. Professor Kuldeep Singh, Dean Commerce and Management. Sir, thank you so much for such providing and putting your efforts in such a wonderful event for enhancing our knowledge and scholarly skills. So I should want my title today is about sustainable tourism, the industry of tourism, which need the local people's participation in that. And obviously, if they are the local residents are more aware of their local areas, so that can help in the development of the industries as well as in the conservation of nature and forest and wildlife over there. So the participation of local residents is very much important for all of us. So green tourism and inclusive growth, the role of local residents is my title today. My paper aims at emphasizing the role of involvement of local resident communities and local businesses in the development of green tourism and services, in particular with respect to sustainable tourism and inclusive growth. The focus in how and why local communities develop ecotourism product. So ecotourism is an idea where we have to safeguard our natural wealth and well-being of people with the development and the growth of the industry. So both things go side by side. The result indicate in my paper, the local communities more and more realize the existence advantage and related operation in protected areas and utilizes local natural and cultural resources for the purpose of developing sustainable tourism. It become additional source of income, and for some people in mainland, at the same time, local cultural heritage being a priority taken into account by the government, and that is protected areas. On a wider scale, such activities have a chance to develop in Indian subcontinent, and if they have given support in financial matter as well as in their day-to-day life. So this is all about the inclusive growth, how and why people have to be included in the growth of the industry, and because they are more aware of their surroundings. Green tourism, mainly defined as an environment-friendly and eco-friendly tourism activity with various aims to develop this industry. In a broad term, green tourism is being an environmentally friendly tourism activity, providing environmentally friendly tourist services to the people. So it is closely related, this term is closely related to ecotourism as well. It is a form of tourism involving responsible travel to natural areas, considering the natural resources and wildlife. So providing socio-economic benefits to the community who live in the areas. where we have places of tourist interest. Local community participation provides residents with a range of opportunities in participate effectively in tourism development activities, to mobilize their capacity to bring social changes, to make decisions, to control the activities that affect their lives and the benefit in the whole communities. So this is the introduction all about that and the role of local resident in safeguarding green tourism. Green tourism means the term I have already discussed and explained you. It is about sustainable form of tourism, ecotourism, and our local resident play a great role in protecting our environment as well as the well-being of the local people and the industry's development. Participation of local communities in ecotourism development process may result into accessing opportunities such as self-governance and working collaboratively with other stakeholders in planning and management process, especially in issues affecting their well-being. So there are so many areas where the participation and the importance of the role of the local peoples is playing a great role in developing the tourism industries. How local communities manage impact of tourism? This is another question we have. So obviously, by providing improved local facilities, infrastructure, by including better education, healthcare, and job ability, by organizing more cultural and social events for the local community, local residents can manage impact of tourism. In addition, leisure activities result in preservation of cultural heritage and rebirth of craft, architectural tradition, and ancestral activities. So such activities also plays a major role in attracting local people to that area so that they can better handle the situation and issues related to environment. To maintain economic, environment, and social cultural benefit and eliminate the tourism drawback, local people participation in tourism development is a key tool to and those who get benefit from such activities. So community participation is such an important thing in developing such industry in today's scenario. People participation in forest conservation have seen we have seen so many people's NGOs and groups to save the environment. Local peoples are playing a very crucial role in safeguarding our conservation of the forest and our environment. So we have seen about Chipku movement several years ago, where the village women collect tree trunks with arms in order to save trees. So we have heard about such a movement called Chipko movement was not non-violent and social and ecological movement aimed at protecting the trees by clinging around them. This movement clearly shows the participation of local people to efficiently protect the forest and maintain, conserve the wildlife. So one of the issue about local residents and the development of tourism industry is about reforestation and local communities. So they are also playing a role in reforestation, afforestation, and can ensure social, economic, and environmental improvement, contribute to the sustainable development, and provide additional income generation to their families. So green tourism practices in India, in terms of a government and other bodies who are looking after the tourism department and tourism industry, green tourism practices are the part of sustainable tourism. Green tourism is proved to be an effective tool for sustainable development, and the main reason why developing countries are now embracing it and including it in their economic development and conservation strategy. Since movement is an essential part of tourism industry, environmental awareness increased not only for tourism industry but also for general public and tourists in the late 20th century. Green tourism, basically, if I explain you about that, it deals with nature-based tourism. It is nature-based tourism, and it is aimed to conserve the environment and improve the well-being of local people. So both things goes hand in hand. Improvement, conservation of the environment and our forest and wildlife, and it also improves the lives of the local people and local community. On the other hand, we see sustainable tourism that includes segment of tourism and has same function to perform as of ecotourism. To conserve the resources and increase the local and cultural tradition value. So this tourism has now given impetus by the government and other local agencies. So the goals of the ecotourism and sustainable tourism is much similar, but later is broader and have in itself many aspects and categories of tourism which relate to sustainable form of tourism. Now come about the national policies on green tourism. What are the policies of our country regarding the green tourism idea? The Ministry of Tourism has come up with a set of policies and guidelines for the development of green tourism in India because it is a new term and the new issues are arising nowadays. This has been formulated after analyzing the document of various national and international organizations working in the field. A selective approach, scientific planning, effective control, and continuous monitoring has to be adopted to help preserve, retain, enrich our world view and lifestyle, our cultural expression and heritage in all its manifestation. So there are several challenges which we have to face for implementation of such laws and implementing the idea of green tourism. And such challenges include preserving natural and cultural resources. So we have to preserve our natural cultural resources at any cost. And we have to limit the negative impact of tourist destination, including use of natural resources and waste product. Promoting use of recycled stuff, reducing the carbon emission, limiting the environmental impact of tourism related transport, making the tourism sustainability accessible to all. So one of the major thing is tourism sustainability that should be accessible to all, and we have to reduce our carbon footprint as well. So after completing this work of research, this study, my conclusion about that is to be no progress can be achieved if there is no participation of the local people. There can be no economic inclusive growth in tourism without sustainability and without promoting green tourism, without conservation of natural resources and without incentives to socio-cultural and environmental terms. The need to reconcile economic growth and sustainable development also bring an ethical dimension. Tourism will thus emerge as a key factor in eco and sustainable development in the coming years and can only develop with people's growth. And it can be said that green management of tourism in India is the way to harness nature's true value through people. We must conserve and protect our nature. Awareness in masses is understand the value of sustainability. All the tourism related activities should be well designed so that executed, managed in an environmental friendly manner so that the environment is not degraded, neither it has to be damaged. Communities should thrive and it will become an example of real inclusive growth and development of the nation. Thank you so much by listening with patience. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
So, thank you, Dr. Simi Nazni. Indeed, a very informative and very crisply drafted research paper. Thank you for such informative ideas from here. Uh, we are going to start after this paper. We are going to start our online presentations. So I request all the participants who are waiting for their turn to be online, and Mr. Yusuf will coordinate accordingly. So yeah, so all the participants who are waiting for their presentation, just be online. We will call your name, and on after when we call your name, you should be ready with your presentation. So first two names we have Monica followed by Sachin. Right. So both of you please
Okay.
be ready. Monica.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Manoj. Yeah, Mr. Bulletti.
Monica from School of
Mr.
Commerce
Yusuf.
and Management, research scholar. I'm audible to you, Monica.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Yusuf.
Kindly unmute yourself.
Mr. Yusuf.
Yes, sir.
We have given the time 3 o'clock to our Afghanistan friends.
Yes, sir.
So just ask if there is any participants available for submitting the paper. Give the next 20 minutes to them.
Okay, sir. I would like to request all the online presenting participants.
Mr. Yusuf,
Monica-
you are hearing me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Yusuf, you are hearing me?
Yes, sir, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Mr. Wasikullah, lecturer scholar from Al Taqwa University, Afghanistan. I want to present my research topic. Should I start my topic?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, kindly go on.
Can you see my slides?
Not it, sir. Yes, sir.
So thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank the Om Sterling Global University for arranging such a wonderful international seminar and providing us an opportunity to present our research work. So basically, our topic is a case study of Afghanistan. The topic of our research is determinants of household saving, a case study of Kabul, Afghanistan. It's a collaborative work by me, Mr. Wasikullah Hamdard, and my co-author, Niamatullah Hayat. So I would like to start from my introduction. First of all, we would like to talk about saving. What is saving? Saving is the amount left after consumption. It is the difference between household income and household consumption. There are numerous theories of economics about household saving and economic growth. Some of them I have mentioned here, I would like to share. The new classical growth model suggested by Solow states that saving changes economic growth, means that the economic growth of a country depends upon its saving. Similarly, Halodomer economic growth model proposed that saving rate along with output of capital
अच्छा मेरी
describe
वॉइस नहीं आ रही है वहाँ पे.
of an economy. And traditional development theory presented by Lewis determines that increase in saving accelerate economic growth. Friedman and Keynes, a well-known economists, they also established a direct relationship between the two variables that are saving and income. And the studies on the same topic I have come across in our research, I have cited them. They have discovered a relationship between household income and saving with the hypothesis that household income has a positive and significant impact on household saving. The authors are mentioned here. You can say Ong 2009, Abdul Malik, etc. So in addition to economic variable, there are some social demographic variable as well, which affect the household saving. These are household size, household head's age, education of the household, the gender of the households, and the marital status. They are the demographic variables.
Yeah, I request all the participants who have joined online, kindly mute yourself. All the participants who have joined online, please mute yourself. Can you? Yeah, all the participants who have joined online, please mute yourself because we have some disturbance from other side. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, please go on. Thank you.
So I was talking about along with economic variable, there are certain socio-demographic variable which affect the household saving. These are households size, households head age, households head education, the gender of the which affect the behavior of the households help to save the money. So the research objective in this research, we have two objectives. The first one is to investigate the determinants of household saving in Kabul, Afghanistan, and the specific objective and the most important is to measure the impact of economic plus socio-demographic variables, as I have told already, on the household saving in Kabul, Afghanistan. So why this study is important or why this research is important, as I have mentioned earlier, economic growth can be affected by many factors, including saving. In Afghanistan, there is lack of efforts on the determinants of household saving based on micro data, and our policymakers have limited information on knowing the determinants of household saving. Therefore, the study will help policy makers while coming up with measures to boost household saving in Afghanistan. So the research gap, so there are numerous studies conducted on the same topic all over the world. Some of them are conducted in developing countries, some are conducted in the developed countries. However, a determinants of household saving in Afghanistan is a new attempt that no one has done before. As I have done my research, I haven't found any paper on the same topic. So this research is an attempt to fill this gap and find a meaningful conclusion. So the literature review, I have mentioned a few most relevant literature in my studies and want to share with you. It is a study of Abdul Malik conducted in 2010. It is basically conducted in Afghanistan. They also use the same variable. They found that household income has a positive influence on household saving, while size of the households have a significant negative impact. And similarly, female heads of the households have more than men. A number of other studies also conducted on the same topic. For example, Ruglu and conducted a study from 2003 to 2009. Their data was poll data. They found that a positive and significant association between households saving and income. Similarly, urban or rural location, age, gender of households, age, and household size have no statistically significant effect on the household saving. Similarly, there are a number of other studies as well. So they use these social demographic variable. For example, in India, a study conducted by Malik and Divashas, they actually took a survey field of 115 respondents of India. They found that households age, gender level of household, marriage status are inducing factors that increase household savings significantly, whereas household size are reducing factors that decrease household saving. Household income is the most important factor of cross-sectional changes in household saving, and there are many studies as well. So as far as our theoretical framework of the study is concerned, there are certain views about the relationship between household saving and income and certain socio-demographic variable. The classical view or the classical schools of thought believe that the interest rate is an essential for the determination of saving. It shows that saving and the rate of interest have a direct relationship. Means that if in a country the saving rate increase, so automatically there will be increase in household saving. Similarly, there is another theory, Keynesian theory or absolute income hypothesis. They did not support the classical view about the relationship between saving and household income. So according to Keynes, saving and consumption have stable relationship with income. So if we analyze saving, we can say that as a current income increase, the saving rate rise more than the consumption rate. Similarly, there is a relative income hypothesis. So according to them, individual may not just focus on the absolute level of position. They are actually more concerned with their relative assets in comparison to other individuals. The author proposes that the fraction of income consumed by the people depends on their relative income. Similarly, a very well-known hypothesis of life cycle hypothesis, they assert that a representative individual maximize his or her utility from lifetime consumption, and that saving is the difference an individual's income and expenditure. An individual beginning with negative saving at early age, amazing saving during his or her work life, and then returning to this saving as he or she retires. This was a life cycle hypothesis. Now, coming to the econometric model of our study, following is the model used to test the determinants of household saving. In the model, you can see S is the dependent variable which shows the household saving. The independent variable Y shows income of the household, which is an economic variable, and HS shows the size of the household. AG shows the age of the household's head. Similarly, GN shows the gender of the household's heads, and EDU shows the educational level of the household's head, and MS shows the marital status of household's head, and H2 shows the age square. These are the socio-demographic variable. Now, coming to the data and data source. In this research, we used a survey technique for data collection, and the data were collected through a well-structured questionnaires from 384 households. Kabul is a capital and one of the main cities of Afghanistan. The total area of the zone, means the Kabul city, is divided into 4 parts: the east, the west, north, and south. As a result, each zone have weight of 25%. The sum of these 4 zones will be 100% of the sample. The questionnaire covers almost all the variable of our model. A stratified random sampling technique or method was used in this research. Through stratified random sampling, 384 households heads were interviewed. Now, as far as the estimation technique of our research is concerned, in this study, we have used GLS, means the generalized least square methods. Why we use generalized least square methods and not OLS methods? It's because there is a problem of heteroscedasticity, as will be shown in our results. So there is a heteroscedasticity problem in our data. That's why we use GLS method. So the result and discussion. First, descriptive analysis of the variable. The table shows the frequency distribution of all the categorical variables. Here you can see the variable categories, frequency, and percentage. The first categorical variable, which is gender of the household's head. First, in 384 sample, we have interviewed 361 male and 23 female. And the percentage is also shown on the right corner. Similarly, the second categorical variable, which is marital status of the households. The individual or the households we have interviewed were 374, which were married, and 10 were unmarried. Similarly, at the level of education of the household head, ED1 shows no education. Similarly, ED2 shows primary education, ED3 shows the secondary, and ED4 shows intermediate, and ED5 shows the higher education. And the percentage and the frequency are given, you can see better. Now, the descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics shows income of the households. The mean income is 37,504. Means that the 384 individual or household head that we interviewed, their mean income is 37,504. Minimum is 8,000 and maximum is 150,000. Similarly, another variable, saving of household. Mean is 8,420, minimum is 0, and the maximum is 50,000. Household size, the mean household size we have interviewed out of 384, that is 8.2. The minimum is 2 and the maximum is 20. Similarly, age of the household's head, the minimum is 23 and the maximum is 81. Now, coming to the diagnostic test, we regress saving of households on different economic and socio-demographic variables. After regression, we applied diagnostic tests to test the problem of heteroscedasticity. As I have already mentioned that we have used the GLS methods because of heteroscedasticity problem. So the result in table shows that there is a problem of heteroscedasticity. Now, coming to the main result, which is regression analysis, there are three columns. In one, we have variables, the second is coefficient, and the third is their p-values or significance level. The first variable, which is the economic variable, is income of the household. The coefficient of income of the households, you can see, is positive and is highly significant. Means that if the income of the household increase, there will be an increase in household saving. Similarly, age of the household is also positive and highly significant. Age square is negative. As I have mentioned the life cycle hypothesis, according to them, initially, the income of the individual or the household is negative, then it become positive, and at the end, it again become negative, or we can call it dis-saving. Similarly, size of the households, the coefficient of it is negative, which shows that if the size of the household increase, there will be a negative impact on the household saving. And now coming to the education, as you can see, up to primary and then a metric and above and intermediate and bachelor, the coefficient increase gradually. It means that as the household education increase, there is a negative impact on their saving. Means that if a household head is more educated, they will spend more money and more of their income on their children to give them proper education and give them proper health and other facilities, which cause them less saving. Now, coming to the marital status variable, you can see that the coefficient is again positive, which shows that the married household head will save more. Mean if their income increase and they are married, they will save more as compared to those who are head of the family and are unmarried, they will save less. Similarly, if a household head is female, they will save less. And you can see at the end R square. R square is actually showing us the goodness of fit of our model. It's 0.61, or we can say that it is 61%. It means that 61% of the variation in our dependent variable, which is household saving, is explained by our independent variable, and it is highly significant. Coming to the conclusion and policy implication or policy recommendation. In conclusion, we can observe from the estimated finding that income is a major and most important determinant of household saving in Kabul, Afghanistan. Similarly, the size of household were observed to have significantly negative effect on saving of the household. Similarly, the level of education of the household head and household saving was also appeared that both are indirectly or negatively related. Besides this, it was also noted from the estimated results that the household saving of the married head were larger in comparison to the unmarried household head, as I have mentioned earlier in the table. Similarly, the household saving headed by a female was found to be lower as compared to those households headed by the female. Moreover, the result of the age was also observed from the results that initially age had a positive influence on the household savings. Now, coming to the policy recommendation or policy application. So the government I mean the government in Afghanistan and Kabul. So the government should take the initiative to increase the salaries and wages of the working people and create new earning opportunities to them. They should provide the facilities of work in a manner in which people can work hourly, daily, and weekly. Similarly, the second policy recommendation is due to high education cost, people has to spend more on education, which make them unable to save much. Hence, the government should play its role to provide free education at every level, not to the primary, secondary, intermediate, and higher, but at every level it is possible. The third recommendation is similarly, the size of household is also negatively affect the household saving, which is due to the same fact that additional child will consume, get education, and spend on their health. Thus, the government should provide free education and health along with some easy housing finance schemes that maximize people should obtain their own houses. Thank you so much for all your attention. If anybody has any question, I'm here to answer to the best of my knowledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Abdullah Rahimi, Mr. Abdullah Rahimi. I heard that your study is based in Kabul. You collected your data from Kabul city. Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Yes, it's a case study of Kabul.
Yeah, it reminded me my days when I was in Kabul. Thank you very much for this informative and data-based presentation, data-based research. You have shown with proper measures, parameters, and other inferences you have made out. Very technical statistical study you have presented. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
If there is anyone else who want to present from Kabul or from Al Taqwa University, we would like to welcome them.
Sir, we have discussed that tomorrow, inshallah, there will be another paper we will present. The link is already shared with us.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much.
yeah. So we will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Now our next online participant is Miss Monica.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
Ready? Are you ready with your presentation?
yes, sir, my slide is showing out.
Okay, now over to you, Miss Monica.
A very good afternoon to Honorable Sir, ma'am. It's a great opportunity for me to present this paper in front of you, and I hope I do my best and you will be satisfied with my work. Now, I start my presentation with all of us relationship between electronic banking and customer satisfaction. First of all, we have described about the abstract. The purpose of this study was to examine the relationship between relationship between the dimension of e-banking service quality and customer satisfaction to determine which dimension can potentially have the strongest influence on customer satisfaction. Data were gathered using a survey instrument which was distributing among bank client in the different banking sector, e-banking has become one of the essential banking services that can, if properly implemented, increase customer satisfaction and give bank a competitive advantages. Knowing the relative importance of service quality dimension can help the banking industry focus on what satisfy customer the most. E-banking has become an internal part for the global financial environment. Improvement in technology and financial innovation has made electronic service in banking sector is an intense part of this study, as day by day increasing the technology are also increasing. Technology has become the fuel for rapid changes. Is earlier time the banking customer required to visit being in a bank in order to transact their account in the bank, but now by the help of e-banking the customer do not need to visit in a bank, and with the help of internet customer can easily transact their account from anywhere. E-banking is playing a major role that it improving the service quality and strength the banking sector. Because of the electronic payment there is increase in customer satisfaction level, increase productivity, reduction cost of banking operation, settlement faster, and increase volume. Impact of e-banking on customer satisfaction. The world has become a global village, and it has brought a revolution in the banking industry. Because of increasing in the development of information technology, the key trends are discussed for the impact of future e-banking services. Now I'm explain about a little bit introduction. My introduction slide is I can skip out. Now I explain the review of literature. We have take some post study related to this topic. For first of all, I explain the Qasim Rasa, Al Khali Jahed, and Sari Hakim. He give his point of view about the e-banking adoption, the impact of e-banking on customer satisfaction. The uses of information and communication technology has changed the techniques for coordinating business trade and dealing with the creating solitization of customer for most association. Accommodation is the abrogating need for most customer. Accordingly they like to pick a service supplier who can offer better proficient service as far as time exertion. The promotion of ICT and web since the 1990 since the characterizing attribute of present day venture, empowering use decrease in economic time exertion expenses and consequently offer better sport. One of the space where ICIT has applied especially significant effect in the banking sector, where financial association continually try to more serious upgrade their customer base, reduce functional overhead, and foster the quality and practically of their reaction. My second review of given by the Vetrival SC Rajani J. Krishan Murthy 2020 in the Sun is they provide the topic name is the influence of internet banking service quality on customer satisfaction. Banking their service are important in human being life. Of later bank have been undergoing operational difficulties owing to be ever changing technology expectation of the bank customer. As a result, to provide efficient customer service, bank has used technology, deliver financial service. Furthermore, many banking sector customer expectation to our banking service. They have also increased. It become essential for the bank to differ from other bank by mean of service quality to enhance customer fulfillment. Internet bankings reduce staff resources, physical facility in the bank. The research study through light on significant contribution to the literature on service of internet banking by exposing how service quality dimension which influence customer satisfaction. This study identify 5 vital dimension of service: responsiveness, trust, consistency, efficiency, websites, security. Therefore, better understanding internet banking service quality will help bank official particular to develop and monitor better strategy. The other review of literature is also is wide on these all points of there, how to e-banking is helpful in our daily life, and how to increase our productivity connectivity to whole the world. So then now I explain my other point of view, what related to the research objective. Now I'm taking the research of the three types of research objective in my research: to find the impact of e-banking on consumer satisfaction, to study the effect of e-banking on quality service and customer satisfaction, to find the benefit to customer for using e-banking service. We all know that e-banking service is a very helpful in our life. It easy to operate the business, it easy to operate the transaction, it easy to operate the our daily payments and daily bill points. And yeah, now we are living in the digital India. So now next my slide explain about the research hypothesis. The above this study touch the various area for the collection of the data related to service provided by bank is satisfied to consumers. In this, we have analyzed no any study and data collected related to trust and customer satisfaction, exit the efficiency and customer satisfaction. Now we explain the research methodology. In there, we have used both the source for collection of the data in primary and secondary source. Use data gathering method in which we have conduct the survey and interview from the consumer of bank. In there, we have also used the questionnaire method to simplify the doubt related to satisfaction of the consumer about the bank service. My next slide is related to analyzing the data. This study make use of both research approaches, inductive and deductive. Where the inductive approach was pursued through conducting qualitative method, the deductive approach was pursued through using a quantitative method. The qualitative method allow gathering rich data about the relation between e-banking services and customer satisfaction. The quantitative method is turn help spotting the different objective perception collecting from the research sample. Through providing objective number, both method complemented each other to gain a solid view about the research inquiry. Now I'm taking a sample, a little bit sample size for my improve for my evidence for my research. In this, for example, total of 150 customer from commercial banking has been asked to answer the questionnaire. After the process of screening, 110 73% participation involved in this study. Eligible can be regarding respondent. After screening the data, only 107 survey can utilize for this study. Their response rate is advocate analyze of the Smart Plus. Is a software. In this, we have analyzed the table, how much male and how much female have provided their our data related to is this survey. And we seen that male is more male as comparison to female. Male is more interact with the daily life in e-banking, because they have generally used in our business point of view. Generally they have used our daily life present. But in the female, they have used only some females are used because they feel like to face, they feel like happy to face interact to each other. For example, they use the daily work. They, for example, the results show that majority of respondent, 76% are male who are using e-banking service, and 24% female who are using e-banking service, because they have less knowledge about the internet, and they trust face to face interaction more. So it shows that e-banking is more famous among male. My result and conclusion: this is a research progress paper providing overview on internet banking e-service quality, satisfaction and loyalty through a profundity literature's review. The after effect of this research show that account access, account control, account use or exchange, as well as usability, protection and security are significant determinants of customer satisfaction with e-banking. Nevertheless, if the expenses and time needed for e-banking increase, customer loyalty will diminish. This is referred to that the satisfaction about e-banking is being predicted worthwhile mainly because of the decreased time and cost needed for banking practice. The paper also found that clients are effectively anticipate the full execution of Treasury mobile commercial mobile service to have the option to lead a wide range of e-banking service through their smartphone. The only impediment that is as yes considered a hindrance for client to adapt to the e-banking framework in this concern about security issue with protection to their account. uh, Thank you to all my honorable sir, ma'am, teacher who listened to me. My presentation is complete. It's related to the e-banking and consumer satisfaction. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Monica. Thank you, Miss Monica.
Thank you, sir.
There is one advice to you while you are presenting your research work.
Sure,
In
sir.
presentation, you need to put points. What I saw that a lot of content has been put in this presentation slides. So in the slides, next time whenever you will present, put points only, right? I hope you're
Okay.
getting me, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Otherwise,
Thank you.
presentation was nice.
Thank you, sir.
So our next participant, research scholar, is Mr. Satinder. Mr. Satinder, can you hear me? Mr. Satinder. Or Mr. Manu Gupta. Manu Gupta. Yes, who is there? Manu Gupta or Mr. Satinder? If you can hear me, just let me know who is this. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. I am Stender.
Okay, Satinder. So, Satinder, you have 10 minutes to finish. Over to you, Mr. Satinder. Share your presentation and start. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Just sir, is this visible to all?
No, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Is
you are
visible to
audible,
all?
but not visible, sir.
Sorry, not visible.
Satinder, your
Yes, sir.
voice is audible,
Okay,
but
sir.
on screen
Screen
nothing
is
is
visible.
coming. On screen, it is not visible.
Just a second. Sir. Now, sir.
Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead.
Visible.
Go ahead, Satinder. Yeah, it's visible. You can go ahead.
Good afternoon to all of you. My topic. Good afternoon to all of you. My topic is review of various algorithms for data encryption used in hybrid technique to implement in database. Here my abstract. In the present scenario, most people of the world are mostly interested in communicating with each other through digital platform. That is WhatsApp, online payment, everything is done in digital platform. But out of these, some people are not interested their data, not encrypted, sorry, not encrypted their data, which cause high chance of losing data or hacking of their personal or confidential data. The most common problem in digital platform is security and privacy issue attached with the usage of online services as all the data gets stored in the database. One of the most common techniques, that is called cryptography, is used to encrypt the data to secure and confidential our private data. In this research, in this paper, uh, I used 36 papers out of 100 research. I used 36 papers or 36 analyzed papers were used in this research to analyze the process of hybrid cryptography and simple cryptography, or compare multiple algorithms to secure our data, and how we can more secure our data with the help of hybrid technology. There are some introduction about cryptography, encryption, and hybrid techniques of cryptography. There are only two processes. Authorization and authentication is the most common process in which we can secure our data. First of all, authorization is the process of access rights to anything, and the other hand, authentication is the identify of a user or a person or a service. Cryptography is the combination of these two terms, authorization and authentications, that are used in the word cryptography. Cryptography is the process we can encrypt our data, human readable language, to another language, that is called ciphertext language. There are two common types of there are two common types of encryption. One is symmetric encryption and second is asymmetric encryption. Symmetric encryption is called a private or secret key encryption. Some keys are used to encoding as well as decoding. It is the best techniques to use a single key process. And on the other hand, asymmetric encryption is the public and private key concept. Here we can use one key for the lock and another public or private key. With the help of combination, we can unlock our data. These two techniques of encryption is commonly used in everywhere, but in the concept of hybrid encryption, there are the combination of one or more keys, that is combination of symmetric and asymmetric encryption to benefit from the strength of each from the encryption. These strengths are respectively defined as speed and security. Hybrid encryption is considered a highly secure type of encryption as long as the public and private key concept. There are different types of algorithms used in hybrid encryption technique. There are some examples of DES, triple DES, AES, RAS, two-fish, ECC, LSB. There are some examples of algorithms that are used in hybrid cryptography or hybrid encryption techniques. On the basis of my review or past papers, they are present in a tabular form. First one is author, second is year of publication, third is which technology is used in their research, worked on technology, database encryption, online encryption, networking encryption. These are the technology, and last one is the result conclusion that are used by the authors. First one is Muhammad et al., in which this paper is published in the year of 2000, used algorithmal signatures and RSA algorithms applied on database encryption technique, applied on simple database system. The author proposed a algorithm with the help of RSA and algorithmal signatures. They are the algebraic propagation of the encrypted form. Author used the algebraic calculation to encrypt the data, encrypt the simple plain text into ciphertext. Second one is Chang Xi and Chang Xi, published in 2003. They used RSA as a master key. They used a single key concept that is called RSA algorithms on the database encryption. Author introduced two new techniques in this. One is field oriented and second is record oriented. Field oriented according to columns wise and record oriented according to row wise encryption is done by this paper. Third is Hirani SA, published in 2003. Symmetric algorithms are used in this research. Commonly, authors compare multiple symmetric algorithms in this paper and find that AES algorithm is the more efficient or more faster comparison to other. Similarly, Nadeem also compares multiple algorithms DES, 3DES, AES and Blowfish comparison and found that the Blowfish is the most secure and faster algorithm comparison to other. Similarly, database encryption techniques are used by many authors like Arshad NH, Yong Ji, with different technology and different method are used by the authors. There are some other research done by the authors, and after conclude that a number of 36 research is analyzed by me in this paper and found that AES and RSA is mostly used in the research to secure our confidential and private data, because these algorithms are most popular and most secure due to their factor analysis process, due to their integral factor process. Here are some another representation of year wise. In these different types of algorithms are used and different years as per their years. So is this visible?
Yes, sir, visible.
So in 2003, there are two techniques are used: common encryption comparison and database encryption. There are multiple algorithms are used by the different authors. In 2005, there are encryption comparison are done with 3DS, AES, Blowfish and DES algorithms. In 2010, there are three techniques are basically reviewed in this paper: Bluetooth communication comparison and database encryption. Here, Bluetooth is a network-based encryption, totally network-based encryption done by the author. Next is 2012. There are two techniques are mostly here: designing hybrid crypto system and encryption comparison. 3DS, AES, Blowfish, DS, and RSA all are equally used in this time period. There are another three types of hybrid encryption: 2013, 2015. Only two cloud environment are used to encrypt or hybrid the multiple algorithms. There are another cloud database server and cloud encryption are done in 2017 also. In 19, there are only network or cloud-based encryption are done. In 2020, there are another cloud computing cloud environment is used to secure to apply hybrid encryption techniques to store our data. So next conclusion. By reviewing of all the research papers, some major problems are evaluated. First one is user authentication. It is being neglected by most of the researchers. Authentication is the process of determining whether someone or something is in fact who or what is declared itself to be. Authentication is the most important point in the encryption to secure our data, but some users neglect this point and they are due to this negligible the data is not secure. Second one is most of the encryption system are vulnerable to attack some after some period. After some period, their techniques are old and they are vulnerable by attackers. Third one is since existing encryption systems are mainly concerned with complicated mathematical procedure. They used complicated mathematical procedure to solve or encrypt their plain text to cipher text. They as complexity of algorithm increased and the execution speed decreases. complexity के कारण उनकी जो speed है वो decrease होती चली गई. Then most of these researchers suffer the practical implementation. They can do their work only theoretically. They do not perform practical implementation of any database or any cloud environment. That's why their data is not properly secured. Most of the hybrid technology are worked on cloud computing environment, that is online mode, but offline database they cannot work properly. After another hybrid cryptography has a great scope in near future as its result increase efficiency, speed through output, but combination of various techniques and algorithms are used. This paper includes past 20-year studies related to hybrid cryptography algorithm on database security, which is helpful for researchers in their future research. This study indicates the maximum use of AES and RSA algorithms because of its integer factorization process. Diffie-Hellman is being very secure and pure choice of eliminating the various limitations related to the cryptographic algorithm. They conclude that RSA, AES, and Diffie-Hellman are the best algorithms to secure our data on cloud environment as well as offline environment. And thank you to all of you to listen me. Any queries or questions regarding this?
Yes, sir. I need a clarification about this topic.
Yes, sir.
Can you, sir, is blockchain a cryptography or is it using any kind of cryptography method? Can you explain that a little bit, sir?
Sir, in this paper we can just review multiple papers to what they are studied or what in future we can improve in cryptography techniques.
So sorry, my question maybe not related to the topic. So if it is possible to give a little clarification about it.
Sorry, sir, can you repeat this your question?
I asked about it, the blockchain. Is it blockchain a cryptography?
Blockchain?
Yeah.
Blockchain is a cryptography.
I'm asking that, sir. I'm asking, is it blockchain a cryptography, or is it using any kind of cryptography method? Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So thank you, Satinder, and for your answer for your query is that yes, blockchain uses cryptography, some cryptographic techniques. As blockchain has a different structure or different style of making available documents throughout the channel, throughout the
Sir,
connected nodes.
sir, blockchain is a different type of cryptographic concepts.
So blockchain
I
also
think.
uses this, cryptography techniques because
Okay, sir.
it has to encrypt data which is available, which is stored in one node, which is made available for the whole community to share, right? So it has
Right,
to
sir.
use some sort of cryptographic technique. Thank you
Okay,
very
sir.
much,
Yeah.
Satinder.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now I would like to invite Mr. Manu Gupta. Manu Gupta, are you online? Manu Gupta, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So, Manu Gupta, you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
10 minutes, precisely 10 minutes. Use these 10 minutes and finish your presentation. Over to you. You can
Sir,
share your.
I am audible to everyone, sir.
Yes, you are audible, and
O-
your PPT is also visible to us.
Okay, sir.
So, okay, over to you.
Okay, sir. Sir, today for my presentation topic is a comprehensive survey of different machine learning techniques for credit card fraud detection. So, um, as we all know, credit card fraud detection is a very, uh, we can say, very hot topic for the in today's scenario. We all are using credit card for financial transaction on e-commerce websites, as well as for buying and purchasing something on the shops, as well as on the uh, there on the various digital platforms. So we must examine and distinguish between fraudulent and legitimate transaction. There are two type of transactions. One is legitimate transaction, and the second one is the fraudulent transactions. In this essay, or we can say in this paper, we provide a thorough analysis of the numerous techniques for identifying credit card fraud. First, hidden Markov model, decision trees, logistic regression, support vector machine, genetic algorithm, neural network, random forest, Bayesian belief networks. These are some approaches for finding the credit card fraud detection. Introduction. Generally speaking, we can say credit card is just a plastic card. It is similar to the debit card. The difference is this only, by when we are using credit card, so we do not have any amount of deposit money in our bank account, and bank gives us the facility to the customer or bank depositor to repay that amount in approximately 45 days. So we can use bank amount near about 45 days, and we have to pay after 45 days the amount which we have spent on our purchase, or we can say on any withdrawal. We can say we can also withdraw the amount. The problem arises when uh, we have not done any transaction, but fraudsters, or we can say fraudular person have stolen the numbers or details of our credit card. So there are some existing credit card fraud detection techniques. First one is the artificial neural network. In artificial neural network, a variety of interconnected nodes make up of an artificial neural network. This artificial neural network technique is similar to the neural network technique which we have in our brain. We have cells, we have neurons, we have cognitive functions. So this artificial neural network uses this type of technique. Next comes the genetic algorithm. The foundation of genetic algorithm is organic evaluation. In early 1970s, American scientist John Holland introduced the first genetic algorithm. With a population of potential solutions, these algorithms search for the best one. These solutions were traditionally represented as two chromosome-like threads. The underlying premises is that the individual from the more powerful population have greater potential for survival and regeneration. The ability of an explanation to address the primary problem raised by strength determines how effective it is. Determining primary duty is feature selection. For this objective, genetic algorithms are typically employed. Next is hidden Markov model. This technique is known as dual implanted random approach. In comparison to standard model, this technique is more beneficial for the modeling of exceedingly complex stochastic procedures. The fundamental system is assumed to be a Markov process with undetected states. In simpler Markov model, states are finite transaction probabilities. Simply said, these are unknown parameters. The stages of this model, however, are hidden. State-based outcomes are visible. This model's training is done to simulate the normal behavior encrypted in user's profile to find credit card scam. If the next transaction is not accepted by the model, with a high probability, it will be classified as fraud. Support vector machine. A supervised machine classifier is the support vector machine. This classifier is capable of pattern analysis and pattern recognition. To perform classification and regression, this is done. A binary classification model is used. The core idea behind SVM is finding the optimum hyperplane for linearly splitting the examples of two specific classes. Support vectors are thought to be hyperplanes that are found in the space between a small number of marginal cases. Bayesian network. This method represents the conditional reliance between random variables. The basic graphical representation takes the form of a directed acrylic graph. It is advantageous to apply this notion for looking up indefinite probabilities by being aware of the likelihood that uncertainty may arise. Bayesian networks had a significant and effective part in scenario modeling. Random forest. The random forest method combines a number of classifiers to address a variety of complex problems. The random forest aids in forecasting the average mean of other trees' output. The precision of the result typically increases as the number of trees increases. Decision tree. An algorithm for guided learning until no additional splitting is necessary that will affect our model. A decision tree with a tree-like structure consisting of a root node and other nodes divided in a binary or multi-split way further into child nodes, with each tree utilizing its own method to accomplish the splitting process, machine learning for the detection of the credit card fraud. As the tree grows, there may be a chance that the training data may be overfitted, leading to the potential branch abnormalities, mistake, or noise. Logistic regression. When the dependent variable is dyadic or binary, it is a suitable technique for use in predictive analysis. This method can be applied because classifying transactions as fraudulent is a tricky variable. This stochastic statistic classification model finds the fraud using logistic curve. And this is a table in which I have summarized the various papers used by the different authors and the techniques which they have used and data set along with technique use and the result. So first one, reference number 13. In this ANN annealing is used. Data set used is UCI websites. Result is it takes longer time when trained with simulated annealing, 92% for the fraudulent transaction detections. Second is 14, reference number is neural network decision tree SVM, website UCI, result is SVM higher accuracy. Next 15, reference number is Navy base KNN SVM US UCSD FICO. KNN is sensitive to noise datasets. SVM is more accurate in comparison with others. Next is 16, SVM random forest European datasets. RF gives higher accuracy in static learning. 17, SVM dataset it used is Bang dataset. Performance wise SVM is good, but in comparison with hybrid BP model less good. Next, KNN SVM dataset from financial institutions, SVM more accurate than KNN. Random forest, next, logistic regression, SVM, decision tree, KNN. These are the techniques used in this paper, and dataset used is credit card from European datasets, and result is overall accuracy is achieved higher in contrast to random forest. Next, KNN, NB, LRDT, CFLN, European cardholders. CFLN can reduce mean square error while KN is time consuming. Next, GA and scatter search dataset, Turkey industrial partner and Turkey major bank. Result improved existing performance by 200%. Next, 25 research paper, reference paper, logistic regression, SVM, random forest, data set from international credit card operation of study in AN tuned by genetic algorithm to detect fraud. Overall performance of random forest is better using different data sets. LR gives better performance. ANN Bayesian belief given by Serge Water short at Europe. Bayesian belief detected more 8% fraud than ANN defect. Then ANN detects 27 Bayesian network classifier. Pagisio Brazilian online payment fraud detection using BNC following probability. Now conclusion. Conclusion is that although there are several fraud detection tools available now, none of them were effective enough to catch the fraud when it was actually happening. They discovered earlier fraud that had occurred. The drawback of every technique mentioned up to this point is that they only produce correct result when used on a certain data set and occasionally only with certain special features. However, we must develop a solution that operates as precisely and accurately in all situations and over a wide range of datasets. When there is a class imbalance, technique like SVM perform better than logistic regression, and random forest performs best of three. Some methods such as decision tree SVM perform better on the unprocessed data. So, in this way, we can say that some machine learning algorithm performs better in comparison with others. So, sir, this is all about my presentation for today. Hello. Hello.
थैंक यू मनु ज्योति गुप्ता जी,
थैंक यू।
काफी इंफॉर्मेटिव आपका पेपर था।
थैंक यू।
टेक्निकल भी था, और मैं तो ये लगा रहा था कि ये मार्केटिंग एस्पेक्ट से तो नहीं है पेपर आपका, बिकॉज आई एम बीइंग ए फ्रॉम मैनेजमेंट साइड, तो मेरे को लग रहा था हमारे भी इंटरेस्ट का पेपर है। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू।
सो टुडे all paper presentation is over. Thank you all the delegates and participants for joining online and offline. Today in this session, we have witnessed keynote address by Professor Dr. Syed Abdul Moez, Dean, Al Taqwa University, Afghanistan. He has exclusively described the motivation and inclusive growth and motive of our collaboration of both the university, Om Sterling Global University, India, and Al Taqwa University, Afghanistan. We had planned 23 papers to be presented today, in which 10 were offline and others online. We had very good quality papers from different areas. Especially Mr. Neeraj Kumar has very impressive and informative information regarding use of magnesium. Professor Simi Nazneen has highlighted issues of tourism industry for inclusive growth. Ms. Akansha has technical research regarding inverters technology. Ms. Riturani described use of e-commerce for ecosystem and inclusive growth. Professor Abdullah Rahimi from Al Taqwa University, Afghanistan, has well researched and informative paper on household saving in Kabul, Afghanistan. He had vast research sample size to come to the accurate findings. Presentation on credit card by Manujyoti Gupta was a technical as well as business relative paper, including use of credit card, uses and misuses. Today's session was co-chaired by my colleague Dr. Manoj Nainwal, and it was coordinated by Muluniti Yusuf. It was very useful session. Thank you all participants and delegates and keynote speakers from Afghanistan. I also thank our IT team for internet connectivity for online presentation, sound system, video and photography. I apologize for connectivity problem for online participants, because I was getting very many messages, even my colleagues were getting. So there was some issue. It was not from our side, but who is to connect? There were link for participation and separate link for presentation. So there was crowd in presentation, although we had planned presentation in advance. So sorry, tomorrow we'll coordinate it in better way. Thank you everyone. We join tomorrow morning at 10:30 to attend keynote address by Dr. Johar Ali Abed, professor from Lebanon, followed by offline and online presentation. Thank you. Thank you everyone for today. We call it a day for. Thank you.